Welcome to Book Summary Podcast, your gateway to personal transformation. Each episode delivers big ideas from the world's most impactful books on mindset, productivity, and success, all in just a few minutes. Ready to turn knowledge into action? Let's get started.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of sources and really dig in to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight. We try to give you a shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today we're embarking on a truly fascinating journey right into the very core of our being, subconscious mind. We've got some really compelling excerpts here from Joseph Murphy's seminal work, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It's a classic, and it posits this incredible, often overlooked control we might have over our lives.
It really is a profound exploration, yeah. This deep dive, it promises to reveal how our inner world fundamentally shapes our outer reality, and that influences, everything, our health, financial well-being, relationships, just overall happiness. So we're going to meticulously unpack the foundational principles behind this powerful, often unseen force. And we'll look at some, truly surprising examples of how ordinary people have consciously directed their subconscious to achieve extraordinary results. It really challenges many of our conventional understandings of cause and effect.
Right, so what's our mission today? What are we trying to figure out? Our aim is really to demystify how your subconscious mind works, how it responds directly to your thoughts and beliefs, and most importantly, how you can consciously engage with this miracle working power, as Murphy calls it, to transform pretty much every aspect of your life. You'll discover that, as Murphy puts it, you truly hold a treasure house within you, like a gold mine of infinite intelligence and boundless love, just waiting for you to tap into it.
Exactly, waiting to be directed.
Understanding your inner world, the dual nature of mind.
Okay, let's dive into this duality that Murphy describes. He emphasizes that while we possess, a single mind,
Right, one mind.
it operates with two really distinct characteristics or functions, astonishingly so sometimes. He often refers to them as the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So think of it this way. Your conscious mind is like the active part, the decision-making part of you that's awake right now, processing what you see, hear, experience through your five senses.
The objective mind.
Yeah, it's objective, it reasons, it makes choices, like deciding what to have for dinner or, which route to take to work. It's the part that learns through observation, experience, education. It lets us draw conclusions about our environment.
And then there's the subconscious. This is what he calls your dup self, the part that's always on, even when you're sleeping. It's involuntary. I mean, you don't consciously tell your heart to beat, right?
No. Or digest your food.
Exactly, or digest your food. It operates on a more subjective kind of feeling-based level. And what's fascinating here is Murphy's analogy of the mind as a garden. Your conscious mind is the gardener.
Okay.
Constantly planting seeds, which are your thoughts, into the subconscious soil all day long. This is driven by your habitual thinking, your dominant thoughts. And this soil, your subconscious, it doesn't discriminate. It will grow whatever seeds you plant.
Whatever you put in there.
Yeah, whether they are good, constructive thoughts like peace and prosperity, or negative, destructive ones like fear and lack. As Murphy puts it so powerfully, as you sow in your subconscious mind, so shall you reap in your body and environment. It doesn't judge the quality of the seed. It simply grows it to its fullest potential.
It's a bit like being the captain of a ship, isn't it? That's another analogy he uses.
That's a great one, too. Yeah.
Your conscious mind is the captain on the bridge, giving the orders, charting the course, making all the big decisions. But the subconscious mind, on the other hand, it's like the engine room crew, meticulously carrying out those orders without question.
Right. They don't ask why.
They don't know where they're going. Their job is simply to execute the instructions given by the captain, no matter what, even if the captain's instructions are faulty.
Or based on bad information.
Exactly. Or, based on incorrect readings, the crew will still follow them to the letter, potentially leading the ship right onto the rocks. Which means if your conscious mind repeatedly says to itself, I can't afford that new car, or I'm terrible at public speaking, your subconscious takes that as a direct command. A non-negotiable order.
An instruction.
And it ensures you remain in a state of financial lack or you experience overwhelming stage fright. It follows your orders quite literally, which is, it's profound, but also sometimes a bit amusing in its directness.
Absolutely. You are literally commanding your subconscious with your habitual inner talk and outer dialogue.
You've hit on the crucial point there.
Yeah, this part of our mind is completely impersonal. Non-selective. It doesn't question your orders or argue with them. It simply accepts whatever your conscious mind believes or accepts as true.
Whatever you impress upon it.
Yes, and then proceeds to bring those conditions, experiences, events to pass in your life.
Yeah.
This is why Murphy emphasizes it have separate and distinct attributes and powers.
Yeah.
Its primary function, its core purpose, is just to execute the ideas that the conscious mind impresses upon it. If you consciously assume something is true, even if objectively it might not be, your subconscious will act on it as if it is true.
Wow.
This inherent obedience is why it's so vital, so utterly critical, to impress only thoughts that bless, heal, inspire, and fill your soul with joy.
Now, here's what I found truly fascinating about Murphy's description, and maybe a bit mind-blowing. The subconscious isn't simply a passive receiver.
No, not at all.
He describes it as the source of infinite intelligence and boundless wisdom. I mean, consider this. It performs all vital bodily functions without our conscious intervention. Heartbeats, blood circulation, digestion, nutrient assimilation, elimination, all that stuff.
Automatically. Perfectly.
It's the very intelligence that transmutes a simple piece of bread into living tissue, muscle, and bone. This incredibly complex, perfectly orchestrated process is completely beyond the ken, beyond the full understanding of the wisest man who walks the earth.
It's staggering when you think about it.
It works tirelessly, 24 hours a day, constantly maintaining and preserving our life perfectly.
And this immediately raises a really important question, doesn't it? If this innate intelligence within us creates and maintains our body,
Then logically,
it possesses the capacity to heal it. Murphy himself provides compelling evidence. He talks about resolving a malignancy, a sarcoma, over 22 years ago by consciously directing this inner healing power. He said he suddenly realized with this profound conviction that the creative intelligence which made all my organs, fashioned my body, and started my heart could heal its own handiwork.
that realization must have been powerful.
Immense. His personal experience solidified his belief. It brings to mind that ancient proverb, the doctor dresses the wound and God heals it. It perfectly captures this idea that there's an underlying universal healing principle at work, an inner physician that knows exactly how to restore things, given the right mental blueprint.
And beyond physical healing, Murphy also credits the subconscious for being the wellspring of inspiration for great artists, scientists, thinkers throughout history.
Right. The source of genius.
He points out how Shakespeare seemed to perceive profound truths hidden from the average person, how the Greek sculptor Phidias could portray incredible beauty and order in cold marble.
Raphael's Madonnas.
Eh.
Beethoven's symphonies.
Exactly. All these brilliant minds, according to Murphy, were tapping into this deeper, boundless wellspring of creativity and wisdom within the subconscious.
It's truly beyond the ken of the wisest man, because it's not just the source of creative genius, but also our highest ideals, our deepest aspirations, our most altruistic urges.
So it suggests that genius isn't solely about intellect.
No, it's about consistently accessing and expressing this infinite storehouse of memory, creativity, and inner guidance. It's available to everyone.
The law of belief and suggestion, how your subconscious responds.
Okay, so we've explored this amazing dual nature of our mind and its innate power. But how does this inner world actually respond to us? How does it work day to day? That brings us to what Murphy calls the law of belief, a fundamental principle explaining why our inner thoughts become our outer reality, often in, surprising ways.
Yeah, this is key.
He states, and this is a really profound idea, it is not the thing believed in that brings an answer to man's prayer. The answer to prayer results when the individual's subconscious mind responds to the mental picture or thought in his mind.
That's a huge shift in perspective.
It really is. It means all those external rituals, specific deities or objects,
Yeah.
they aren't the source of the power.
They're more like catalysts, focusing mechanisms.
Exactly. Catalysts for your internal belief. The real insight here is that the power was always within your mind, waiting to be activated by sincere mental acceptance, regardless of the external object of that faith.
It puts the responsibility and the power squarely back on you, the individual.
Totally.
And it's exactly that universality that stands out. This law operates universally across all cultures, all creeds. Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, Hebrews, they all report receiving answers to their prayers. And Murphy argues it's not because of their specific doctrines or rituals,
But because of belief.
but because of their deep belief, their mental acceptance and receptivity regarding what they pray for. It really boils down to this fundamental truth. As a person thinks, feels, and believes, so is the condition of his mind, body, and circumstances.
Thinking, feeling, believing.
Yes, which means belief is fundamentally just a thought in your mind. And that thought, impressed deeply upon the subconscious with feeling and conviction, is what triggers the desired response. This is why just wishing for something isn't enough. It's about what you truly accept as real in your deepest self, what you resonate with subconsciously.
Yeah, that connects perfectly to why simply saying, I'm a millionaire, just repeating it, might not actually work if you don't feel it to be true, deep down in your gut.
Right, if there's conflict.
Your conscious mind might reject it as a lie, creating what Murphy calls mental conflict. If you speak the words aloud, but inwardly you're feeling this dominant sense of lack or skepticism, or like you're just fooling yourself.
That dominant feeling is what registers.
Exactly. That inner dominant feeling will be accepted by your subconscious, not the outward affirmation. Your subconscious only accepts what you really feel to be true, which you internalize as fact.
Which is why so many affirmations, when they're done without genuine feeling or conviction, can seem to fail. It's not about idle words, it's about the deep conviction behind them.
Got it.
Precisely. And this internal acceptance makes the subconscious mind incredibly open, or, as Murphy puts it, amenable to the power of suggestion. Whether that suggestion comes from yourself, which is autosuggestion,
Or from others.
or from others, which is heterosuggestion. Countless experiments by psychologists on hypnotic subjects illustrate this vividly. A hypnotist can suggest a person is Napoleon or even a cat.
Seriously. A cat.
Yeah. And they will act it out with incredible accuracy. Their personality changes for that moment to embody the suggestion. The subconscious accepts these suggestions without question, without logical reasoning. Sometimes it even bypasses the conscious mind entirely.
Wow.
This profound receptivity means that thoughts and ideas, once accepted, can manifest in astounding ways, influencing perception, behavior, even physical states.
You could even induce physical symptoms with this. I mean, imagine a hypnotist holding a cup of cold water to a hypnotized subject's nose and suggesting it's pepper.
And they sneeze.
They sneeze. Or suggesting an itch or a nosebleed or even temporary paralysis.
Uh-huh.
And the subject experiences it as if it were totally real, despite no objective physical cause.
It demonstrates unequivocally that the subconscious responds to the suggestion, not the objective reality of the water or the lack of a physical ailment.
And this is critical for you, the listener, to understand because it powerfully highlights how much influence your own thoughts and accepted beliefs have.
Constantly. You are constantly giving suggestions to your subconscious through your internal dialogue, your mental imagery, the beliefs you habitually hold.
Right. We're always suggesting things to ourselves.
And this power, as you noted, isn't always benign. Murphy shares a chilling yet incredibly illustrative story. A man who repeatedly said, "I would give my right arm to see my daughter cured of this crippling illness."
Oh, I remember reading that one.
Yeah, medical treatment had failed her. 2 years later, tragically, he lost his right arm in a car accident.
And the daughter.
Her condition vanished. The subconscious, being literal and non-discriminatory, took his intense, emotionalized desire quite literally. It manifested it in this tragic way.
That's sobering.
It really underscores the profound importance of giving your subconscious only suggestions which heal, bless, elevate, and inspire you. It simply cannot take a joke, as Murphy warns. It takes you at your word, which makes careful thought selection and emotional intent absolutely vital. There's another story, too, about a man who died because a crystal gazer predicted his death.
He just accepted it.
He accepted the suggestion fully. His fear and expectation brought it to pass. The crystal gazer had no actual power, only the man's absolute belief in the suggestion did.
Wow. So if suggestions can be destructive.
They can, conversely, be incredibly constructive. Autosuggestion is the conscious, deliberate act of feeding your subconscious positive, specific thoughts. Think of the young singer who overcame debilitating stage fright. She'd failed auditions 3 times because of fear.
Right. What did she do?
Her solution was brilliant. 3 times a day, and crucially, right before sleep, she'd sit, relax, and repeat to herself, slowly, quietly, with feeling. I sing beautifully. I am poised, serene, confident, and calm.
Just kept repeating it.
5 to 10 times each session. Within a week, she was completely poised and confident, gave a remarkable audition, This systematic, consistent practice allowed her subconscious to accept the new positive blueprint, completely overriding the old fear pattern.
That's amazing.
Or consider the 75-year-old woman who systematically restored her memory after it began to fail. She meticulously affirmed, "My memory from today on is improving in every department. I will always remember whatever I need to remember."
She was really specific.
Very specific, affirming it daily for 3 weeks until her memory was completely back to normal. Even a nasty temper was overcome by daily affirmations like, "Joy, happiness, and cheerfulness are now becoming my normal states of mind."
So these examples powerfully demonstrate that sustained felt autosuggestions can actually recondition the mind.
Exactly. They can literally break or build a habit, fundamentally changing your internal programming and outward behavior patterns. It highlights that we possess the inherent power to counteract negative conditioning from our past. All those childhood suggestions like, "You can't," or "You'll never amount to anything."
Right, the stuff we absorb without realizing.
Mm-hmm. This stands in stark contrast to what Murphy calls involuntary autosuggestion, which is often a silent, emotionalized fear thought that manifests negatively without conscious intent.
Like the young man who constantly feared his wife would leave him.
Exactly. Always imagining it. And eventually, she did leave. His silent fear thoughts, emotionalized and subjectified, meaning they got deeply embedded in his subconscious, created the very outcome he dreaded.
His subconscious took his fear as a request.
In its reactive nature, yes. Similarly, a businessman constantly imagined failure and bankruptcy for his ventures, and that's what happened. His negative mental movie became his external reality, a potent reminder that our deepest fears are often self-fulfilling prophecies.
Okay, but here's the key takeaway, right? And this is crucial.
Yes.
It's recognizing that a suggestion cannot impose something on the subconscious mind against the will of the conscious mind.
Absolutely. Your conscious mind holds the power, the gatekeeper function, to reject negative suggestions. Think of the sailor Murphy mentions who laughed off the seasickness suggestion from his companion. He deeply believed in his immunity to it.
His self-confidence was dominant.
It was his dominant inner assumption. His conscious mind just dismissed the suggestion. Conversely, the timid passenger accepted it because of his existing fear, his inner assumption of susceptibility.
So your inner assumptions rule and govern our lives.
Precisely. A suggestion only truly has power if you consciously accept it mentally. That acceptance then causes your subconscious powers to flow in a limited or restricted way according to the nature of that suggestion. It's about consciously guarding the gate of your mind.
Okay, now here's a common stumbling block I think a lot of people hit when trying to, manifest their desires.
Right, the frustration point.
Yeah. When your desire and your imagination are in conflict, Murphy says your imagination invariably gains the day. Imagine trying to walk a plank if it were just flat on the floor. You'd do it easily, right?
Sure, no problem.
But now, imagine that same plank placed 20 feet up in the air between two walls. Your desire to walk it is suddenly overwhelmed by the vivid imagination or fear of falling.
The mental picture of falling takes over.
Exactly. And the harder you word yourself to walk, the more your fear-filled imagination of falling triumphs. It actually reinforces the dominant idea of failure.
That's the law of reversed effort. The more conscious effort you apply when there's inner conflict, the more you bring about the opposite of what you want. It's counterintuitive.
It really is.
And this explains phenomena like suggestive amnesia during exams. The desire to remember is overridden by the fear of forgetting.
Mind goes blank.
Exactly. Students find their minds blank, and the more they grit their teeth and force recall, the further the answers seem to flee. It's the law of reversed effort at play, subconscious resistance to conscious forcing.
So what's the solution then?
The solution, Murphy suggests, is reconciliation between desire and imagination, often achieved most effectively in a drowsy, sleepy state.
Just before sleep.
Yeah, or just after waking. When conscious effort and negative thoughts are minimized, this is where you simply imagine the fulfilled desire and feel its reality, impressing it upon the subconscious without that conscious resistance or struggle.
Okay, so if you want, say, a harmonious solution to a legal problem, but your imagination is constantly conjuring images of failure, loss, bankruptcy,
Yeah.
you're working against yourself.
Directly against yourself. Murphy recounts a powerful story of a young girl in a bitter family lawsuit. Endless postponements, draining finances.
Okay.
At his suggestion, she began to run a mental movie of the desired outcome every night just before sleep in that drowsy state. She vividly imagined her lawyer calling her, telling her the case was settled harmoniously. She heard his voice, felt the relief, the reality of it.
She lived it internally.
Exactly. During the day, whenever fear thoughts came, she'd immediately replay this mental movie with all its sensory details and positive feeling. She continued this until that positive picture became a deeply ingrained subjective pattern within her subconscious.
Yeah.
Just a few weeks later, her attorney called, confirmed the case was settled harmoniously out of court.
Wow. That's powerful.
This technique, he says, is exactly what the psalmist meant by letting the words of your mouth and the meditations of your heart be acceptable to the Lord, meaning the law of your subconscious mind.
Harnessing the subconscious for healing and well-being.
All right, let's move into healing. Murphy makes this compelling claim that a personal healing will ever be the most convincing evidence of our subconscious powers.
It's hard to argue with personal experience.
We already heard how he healed his own sarcoma malignancy over 42 years ago by specifically directing his subconscious. This really raises a fascinating and crucial question for us. How do we tap into this infinite healing presence lodged in the subconscious depths? What's the universal mechanism here?
Well, the core message Murphy conveys is that there is only one process of healing, and that is faith. And profoundly, only one healing power, namely your subconscious mind.
One process, one power.
Yes. This single unifying principle explains cures at various shrines worldwide across diverse cultures and belief systems. Take the example he gives of the Japanese girl who regained her voice at a Buddha shrine. It wasn't the idol itself or the ritual she performed.
It is her belief.
It was her simple faith, an intense expectancy, her unwavering belief that conditioned her mind. Her subconscious responded to that deep inner conviction regardless of the object of her faith.
So the power is intrinsic, not external.
Exactly. A universal principle not tied to any specific religion or method, but to the belief inherent in the individual.
You know, this sounds precisely like the views of figures from centuries ago, like Paracelsus, the Swiss physician, and Pietro Pomponazzi, the Italian philosopher. They said, whether the object of your faith be real or false, you will nevertheless obtain the same effects.
That's right. If you believe in saints' bones or special holy waters to heal, you get results not because of the inherent power of those objects.
But because of the suggestion.
Yes, because the powerful suggestion, rooted in your belief, acts upon your subconscious. The effectiveness isn't in the external thing, but in the internal conviction it generates, in the mental acceptance and receptivity that allows the subconscious to work its profound healing. It's a testament to the mind's inherent power.
Incredible.
And to really drive this point home, consider the remarkable work of Dr. James Esdile, a Scotch surgeon in Bengal back in the 1840s.
Okay.
He performed hundreds of major operations, amputations, tumor removals under mental anesthesia alone.
Mental anesthesia, no chemicals.
With incredible low mortality rates, sometimes as low as 2 to 3%. This was astonishing, especially when you remember this was before germ theory was even understood, before modern sterile practices.
How did she do it?
He suggested to his patients, in a hypnotic state, that no infection would develop, and their subconscious minds responded accordingly. It's an extraordinary physical manifestation of accepted suggestion.
Wow.
Even modern medical figures, like the famous French physician Hippolyte Bernheim, observed and documented these same principles.
Yeah, Bernheim himself recorded astounding cases. He healed a man's paralyzed tongue by just putting a thermometer in his mouth.
And telling him it was a special instrument.
Yes, telling him it was a new instrument specifically designed to restore speech. The patient's imagination and confident expectancy did the work, restoring his speech instantly. He also healed a young girl's complete loss of speech by simply applying his hand to her larynx and saying, with conviction, "Now you can speak aloud."
And she did.
Instantly she spoke. These deceptively simple acts demonstrate the immense direct power of suggestion on the subconscious, often bypassing the conscious mind's resistance and doubt entirely.
And this extends to even more alarming yet equally illustrative phenomena, like bloody stigmata induced by suggestion, where a hypnotized subject can literally bleed along lines traced on their arm or from a nostril, simply because the hypnotist suggested it with powerful conviction.
That's almost frightening.
It shows the power, though. All these examples reinforce the tremendous, even physical power of suggestions when they are accepted by the subconscious mind. Murphy urges you, the listener, to lull yourself to sleep every night with the idea of perfect health, and your subconscious, being your faithful servant, will obey you.
So it highlights that a changed mental attitude, a shift in your inner conviction is the key.
Yes. And that disease itself often originates in the mental realm.
So if disease, or at least a significant portion of it, originates in the mind and the healing power is in the subconscious mind of each person, how do we consciously release it? How do we bring about wholeness?
Murphy makes it clear. It starts with a changed mental attitude. It's about consciously and systematically cleansing your mind of negative thoughts, charged with fear, worry, doubt, thoughts that have become lodged in your subconscious, because they are the root cause of discord and limitation in your body and affairs.
So prayer therapy in this context.
He describes it as the combined function of the conscious and subconscious mind scientifically directed. It's not just rote recitation. It means actively cleansing your mind of negative thoughts charged with fear.
Getting rid of the negative programming.
Precisely. Think of the man with functional paralysis he mentions. Couldn't move his legs due to a mental block, not a physical injury.
Right. What did he do?
He systematically imagined himself walking, touching his desk, answering the phone, doing all his normal activities in vivid detail, until that mental picture of perfect health was completely accepted and internalized by his subconscious.
And then?
This led to a spontaneous physical healing. The phone rang, compelling him to walk to it and answer. Just like that. The effect can be truly profound. He shifted his attention from the problem to the healing power within him, and that power flowed through his focused attention, enabling him to walk.
So it's about imagination aroused to an intense degree, plus the confident expectancy of a perfect healing.
Exactly. It's providing a clear, vivid, emotionally felt mental blueprint that your subconscious can then precisely manifest in your physical reality, often in ways that seem miraculous.
Okay, what about absent treatment? Praying for someone who isn't physically there.
Murphy delves into that too. He says it's possible because there's no time or space in the mind principle.
One universal mind.
Essentially, yes. Your thoughts of health, vitality, and perfection operate through the one universal subjective mind, manifesting as healing in the other person. You aren't trying to send out thoughts like psychic energy. Rather, your conscious realization of health and harmony induces these qualities within your own mind. And since there's only one universal subjective mind connecting all, these qualities are then resurrected in the experience of the other person.
So the key is inducing an inner realization of health and harmony in your mentality for them.
Correct. It starts within you.
He also gives extremely practical advice that might be tough for some people. Stop talking about your ailments. Stop giving them a name.
Right. Because your attention and your fear give them life and power. He mentions a psychologist who recovered from a serious illness by never mentioning it by name.
Just focused on health?
Just constantly thinking and speaking only of harmony and perfect health. Be a mental surgeon, Murphy says, and cut off your troubles. When you constantly dwell on symptoms, discuss them, give them a dramatic name, you're actually perpetuating the condition. You're feeding it with negative mental sap.
So shift focus entirely to the ideal.
To the healthy, the harmonious state, yes.
Okay, now let's talk about forgiveness and guilt. Murphy asserts that life always forgives you.
Yeah, think about it. You cut your finger, your subconscious immediately starts repairing it. No judgment.
Eat bad food.
It causes you to regurgitate it to preserve your body. Again, no judgment. Life holds no grudges.
So why do we suffer then?
Often, Murphy explains, it's our own negative and destructive thinking, or our misuse of the law of mind. God, or life, doesn't punish. We punish ourselves through our false beliefs, self-condemnation, and acceptance of negative suggestions.
This is particularly powerful when discussing guilt. He tells of a man with high blood pressure, mysterious pains,
whose problem stemmed from deep, unconscious guilt over cheating his deceased brother.
Right. And his hard work, neglecting his family,
was a form of self-punishment, a subconscious attempt to pay for his perceived transgression. The explanation was the cure, once he understood that we punish ourselves by misusing mental laws.
Like misusing electricity can burn down a house, even though electricity isn't evil.
Exactly. Once he truly understood and accepted this, the enormous burden of guilt lifted. His blood pressure normalized, a complete transformation.
Wow, understanding was the key.
Even a murderer, tormented by guilt for 15 years after killing his brother, found peace through Murphy's insights. The profound explanation offered was this. Physically and psychologically, he was not the same man, as every cell of our bodies changes every 11 months.
So the old man who committed the crime
was mentally and spiritually dead. This realization that he was condemning an innocent new man lifted a great weight from him. It allowed him to forgive himself and move forward, no longer imprisoned by a past self that no longer physically or mentally existed.
That's a radical perspective on identity and forgiveness.
It really is.
What I found incredibly empowering here is the idea that criticism cannot hurt you without your consent.
You choose whether to accept it.
Murphy tells the story of a school teacher, furious after being criticized about her speech, but instead of staying angry,
She reflected. Realized the criticisms were just.
used it as a marvelous corrective, took a public speaking course, improved, and then genuinely thanked her critic.
And if the criticism had been unjust,
Then her understanding would be that it's just the other person's psychological boil acting up, releasing their own negativity. It has no power over her.
because you are, Murphy insists, master of your thoughts, reactions, and emotions, you have the inherent power to reject any thoughts that seek to disturb or upset you.
Right. So forgiveness, then, is presented as absolutely essential to mental peace and radiant health.
Resentment, condemnation, hostility. Murphy warns they are behind a host of maladies, from arthritis to cardiac disease. They fester in the subconscious, creating a toxic internal environment.
And the essential ingredient is the willingness to forgive.
Willingness. That's the starting point. This doesn't mean you have to like someone who wronged you or endorse their actions. Instead, love in this context means you wish for the other health, happiness, peace, joy, and all the blessings of life.
Which is actually kind of a selfish act in a positive way.
Exactly, because what you sincerely wish for the other, you are simultaneously, through the law of mind, wishing and creating for yourself.
Okay, but this is a challenge, right? How do you genuinely forgive someone who has truly wronged you, especially when the hurt feels so deep?
Murphy provides a simple yet profoundly powerful method. Quiet your mind, relax your body, and then affirm clearly and consciously. I fully and freely forgive him, mention the name. I release him mentally and spiritually. I completely forgive everything connected with the matter. I am free, and Sha is free.
And you do this freely, joyously, lovingly.
Truly wishing the other all blessings. It's not just words, it's a mental and emotional release.
And there's an acid test for forgiveness.
Yes, crucial for knowing if you've truly released it. If you sizzle or feel that anger resurface when hearing good news about someone who wronged you,
Then the roots are still there.
then the roots of hatred would still be in your subconscious mind, causing havoc within you. True forgiveness means having no sting or hurt anymore. Only a memory, like a healed wound with no emotional charge.
So when the thought enters your mind, you just wish them well.
Wish them well and say peace be to you until the thought fades. This, he explains, is what it truly means to forgive until 70 times 7.
So if you are struggling with forgiveness, the suggestion is keep wishing health, happiness, peace, and all the blessings of life for that person consistently until the negative thought just fades away.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that to understand all is to forgive all. Because when you truly understand the creative law of your own mind, you stop blaming others. You realize that your own thoughts and feelings create your destiny
Which transforms you from being a victim.
to an active master of your inner world, empowering you to break cycles of resentment and cultivate genuine peace.
Cultivating abundance, success, and harmonious relationships.
Okay, moving beyond healing into abundance and success. Murphy states, quite directly, wealth is simply a subconscious conviction on the part of the individual.
That's a big claim.
It is. It suggests that if you're struggling financially, constantly trying to make ends meet, battling bills, it's not primarily about your external circumstances or even how hard you work.
It's about the inner conviction.
It's that you haven't yet convinced your subconscious that you'll always have plenty and some to spare. It's about consciously building into your mentality the idea of wealth and abundance, fostering a true wealth consciousness rather than a poverty mindset.
And this is where many people run into that common pitfall again. They try affirmations like, I am wealthy, but
They feel like they're lying.
they feel within that they were lying to themselves. The subconscious, as we've discussed, accepts what you really feel is true, not just the words. The dominant idea or belief is always accepted.
So how do you avoid that conflict?
A more effective affirmation, Murphy suggests, is, by day and by night, I am being prospered in all of my interests.
That feels different.
It does. It doesn't contradict your current reality of maybe struggling, but it points towards growth, a gradual, harmonious increase in all areas, making it much more acceptable, less resisted by your subconscious.
This idea of consciously building a wealth consciousness, it's really about not signing blank checks of fear, as Murphy puts it.
Yeah, I like that phrase.
When you make statements like, I can't afford it, or there's a shortage, or you're consumed with fear about the future, economic downturns.
Your subconscious takes that as a request.
Exactly. And faithfully proceeds to bring obstacles, delays, lack, and limitation into your life, like a self-fulfilling prophecy of scarcity.
Oh, instead.
Instead, you need to consciously, consistently deposit thoughts of prosperity, wealth, success into your subconscious. And like a bank, Murphy says, it will then give you compound interest, amplifying those positive ideas and manifesting them.
It's also vital to remember that the things you condemn or criticize, like money itself or wealthy people,
They tend to fly away.
they tend to take wings and fly away from you.
Okay, that leads directly to a major, often unseen stumbling block to wealth then.
Which is?
Condemning or criticizing those who have more wealth than you.
Right. The quickest way to cause wealth to take wings and fly away is to criticize and condemn others who have more wealth than you. Envy, jealousy, resentment towards the prosperous are major blocks.
Why? Because you're condemning the very thing you desire.
Exactly. It creates a mental contradiction. The practice instead is to consciously rejoice in the prosperity of others, genuinely wish them well. When you identify yourself with the good fortune of others, celebrate their abundance, you actually, through the operation of universal mind, attract good fortune and abundance to yourself.
That makes sense. And it's crucial to understand that money itself isn't inherently evil, right?
Not at all. It's simply a neutral symbol of exchange, a symbol of economic health, like water flowing freely. The real riches, Murphy clarifies, are always in your mind, your ideas, your creative solutions, ingenuity, peace of mind, joy, love.
We are meant to live an abundant life, not a life of poverty, which Murphy strongly calls a disease of the mind.
Yeah, he clarifies that paper bills, checks, coins are no more evil than gold or silver in the ground. Evil comes from man's ignorance and misuse of his mind's powers, or from a perverted desire for control.
So we're here to lead a balanced life, and that includes acquiring the money we need to express ourselves fully, live a life of freedom and purpose.
Absolutely. Now, just as an engineer meticulously creates a blueprint for a bridge, laying out every detail before construction begins.
We have a mental blueprint for our lives.
Exactly. Murphy emphasizes that all your experiences and everything that enters into your life depend upon the nature of the mental building blocks, which you use in the construction of your mental home. Your thoughts, your habitual thinking, your mental imagery, that is your blueprint.
So if your blueprint is mostly fear, worry, lack, criticism,
then that's exactly what will materialize in your life.
which means if you want radiant health, phenomenal success, profound happiness, you have to consciously build it.
Hour by hour, moment by moment, you build it by the thoughts you think, the ideas you harbor, the beliefs you accept as true, and critically, by the scenes that you rehearse in the hidden studio of your mind.
So our personality, identity, our whole life story,
Yeah.
it's being built continually by our inner world.
Continually. Every single thought and mental image forms impressions in your subconscious that will eventually become concrete facts and experiences in your outer life. It's truly like an architect's blueprint for a magnificent building. The mental image absolutely precedes the physical reality.
Okay, so let's get practical. Murphy offers a whole toolkit of techniques for consciously impressing the subconscious and building this ideal blueprint. These are where the rubber meets the road, right?
Definitely. Let's walk through a few of his most powerful ones. First, the passing over technique. This involves inducing that reverie-like or drowsy state, often just before sleep.
Okay.
And then calmly thinking over what you want, seeing it come into fruition, feeling its reality. It's a gentle surrender. He gives the simple example of a little girl with a cough who, when put to bed, affirmed, "It is passing away now," in a sleepy state.
Okay.
Her cough actually ceased within an hour, shows the simplicity and directness when done with feeling and minimal conscious resistance.
Wow. Okay, next.
The visualization technique, or the mental movie method. This is where you create a vivid, detailed mental picture of your fulfilled desire. William James, the father of American psychology, stressed that the subconscious will bring to pass any picture held in the mind and backed by faith.
So you act as though I am and I will be.
Exactly. Murphy himself imagined lecturing to large audiences while lying on a couch, feeling the reality of it, which led to him finding a permanent lecturing location. Another powerful example. A young man yearning to be a physician. Every night he pictured his medical diploma on his wall, lived with the idea, felt the pride, until it became a profound conviction.
And that led to?
It eventually led to a prominent doctor sponsoring his medical school. He became a distinguished physician. The inner picture manifested.
Amazing. What else?
The bodily technique. from Professor Charles Baudouin. This emphasizes condensing your desire into a brief phrase which can be readily graven on the memory.
Like a short mantra.
And to repeat it over and over again as a lullaby in that drowsy, sleepy state, minimizing effort or striving. It's like a gentle whisper to your subconscious. A woman used the phrase, "It is finished in divine order," to resolve a bitter family lawsuit. Repeated it nightly for 10 nights.
And on the 11th day.
A harmonious settlement was reached.
Simple but effective. Okay, keep going.
The sleeping technique, very similar to Baudouin, specifically leveraging that sleepy state when the subconscious is most receptive. You impress it with affirmations like, "I am completely free from this habit. Harmony and peace of mind reign supreme." Slowly, quietly, lovingly. For 5 to 10 minutes, night and morning, to build a new, positive habit pattern. The subconscious takes these deep impressions and then compels you to express them.
Makes sense. What's the thank you technique?
The thank you technique. Incredibly powerful. Centered on expressing profound gratitude as if the desire has already been fulfilled. Murphy describes a man, broke and out of work, bills piling up, who began repeatedly saying, "Thank you, Father, for my wealth," in a relaxed, peaceful manner.
Even though he was broke.
Yes. He kept doing it until the feeling of thankfulness and wealth dominated his mind. This mental acceptance, this internal vibration of gratitude, quite miraculously led to a lucrative job offer and a loan from a former employer. Completely transformed his life.
Gratitude is key.
Huge. Then there's the affirmative method. This involves stating truths about health, harmony, abundance, consciously removing all thought from symptoms or problems, focusing only on the ideal. The author used this for his sister's gallstones, affirming her perfect health, that the healing intelligence was transforming every cell, not dwelling on the diagnosis or their distance. It asserts the higher truth.
Okay, 2 more.
The argumentative method. This is like reasoning with yourself, building a compelling case in a mental courtroom. You consciously convince your logical mind that the healing power within you can and will heal based on the irrefutable evidence of its creative capacity, how it made your organs, maintains your body.
You build a mental case for health.
Present it to yourself and confidently render a verdict in your mind.
And finally,
the decree method. This asserts that power goes into our word according to the feeling and faith behind it. No striving, no coercion, just a calm, knowing declaration. A young girl used it to get rid of an unwanted suitor. She decreed, with quiet conviction, "I release his name unto God. He is in his true place. I am free, and he is free. I now decree that my words go forth into infinite mind, and it brings it to pass. It is so."
And what happened?
Murphy recounts she never saw him again, as if the ground swallowed him up. Illustrates the immediate, decisive power of a word spoken with profound conviction.
That's quite a toolkit.
It really is. Practical ways to engage the subconscious directly.
Now let's turn our attention to relationships, a critical area for most people. Murphy posits that many marital problems stem from, again, ignorance of the functions and powers of the mind.
It always comes back to the mind.
He argues that marriage, to be truly real and enduring, must be founded on a spiritual basis, rooted in core virtues like honesty, sincerity, kindness, and integrity.
Not just security or social position or ego.
No. A deeper spiritual union where 2 hearts genuinely beat as one, moving Godward, as he says.
So, if you're seeking an ideal husband or wife, the method Murphy suggests is, again, to impress your subconscious mind with the qualities and characteristics you desire in a partner.
Not a specific person, but the traits.
Exactly. The traits. You sit down, relax, affirm precisely what you want. Honesty, sincerity, loyalty, strength, shared values, whatever it is. Systematically visualize and affirm those traits until they become a part of you and are embodied subconsciously. Once that internal blueprint is clear, the subconscious will open up a pathway whereby both of you will meet according to the irresistible and changeless flow of your own subconscious mind.
The key is having a keen desire to give your best and be receptive to the love and qualities you've impressed.
Exactly. And this means you absolutely have the power to break negative patterns in relationships.
Like the teacher he mentions, who kept attracting passive husbands.
Right. It left her feeling unfulfilled. She eventually had the profound realization that she was unconsciously wanting to play the dominant role due to her own masculine domineering personality. Her subconscious picture was faithfully attracting what she subjectively wanted.
So she recognized her pattern.
And consciously changed it. She began affirming she was attracting a strong, powerful, loving, very masculine, successful husband. prayed this night and morning until it completely saturated her mind.
And it led to an ideal marriage.
With a man who was exactly what she had affirmed, it beautifully illustrates that you don't have to repeat relationship mistakes. You can consciously choose and impress a new ideal.
And divorce, tragically, often begins in the mind too, long before any legal action.
Murphy recounts the young man whose constant fear his wife would leave him, his expectation of rejection, ultimately manifested in her seeking divorce.
His silent fear thoughts, emotionalized and subjectified.
Became ingrained in his subconscious, creating the very outcome he dreaded. A stark illustration of the law of action and reaction. The thought is the action, and the response of the subconscious mind is the reaction.
But they healed their marriage.
Thankfully, yes.
Yeah.
By consciously radiating love, peace, goodwill to each other, systematically counteracting the previous negative mental patterns until a new, harmonious one took hold.
Murphy also offers incredibly practical advice for everyday marital relations. Like, a nagging wife often craves attention and appreciation.
So consciously praise her good points, show appreciation instead of looking for faults.
And a brooding husband.
He says he's, psychologically speaking, committing adultery by giving attention to or uniting mentally with that which is negative and destructive regarding his wife.
So he should consciously swallow sharp remarks, abate his anger, cultivate kindness.
It's all about consciously choosing harmony and love in your thoughts towards your partner because your thoughts are creative.
And here's an incredibly important one for marital harmony, maybe counterintuitive for some.
Which is
never discuss your marital problems or difficulties with neighbors and relatives.
right. This not only degrades your partner in others' eyes, creating a negative social image, but more importantly, as you discuss and dwell upon these shortcomings, you are actually creating these states within yourself.
Because you are thinking and feeling it, reinforcing the negative blueprint.
Exactly. Your thought is creative. Relatives' advice is often biased, one-sided, and violates the golden rule of respecting the other. Keep quarrels private. Refrain from criticizing or condemning your partner, even to sympathetic ears.
Crucially, Murphy asserts, you will have to learn the hard way that there is no one to change but yourself.
Don't fall into the trap of trying to make your partner over to fit your ideal. Trying to alter them fundamentally destroys their pride and self-esteem, leads to resentment, and ultimately the end of the marriage.
So instead,
Pray together and stay together. Forgive each other daily, send loving thoughts, give thanks for your partner, pray for each other's peace and happiness. Consciously choose to begin each day radiating love and goodwill.
and the subconscious will respond to this new harmonious blueprint.
Transforming the marriage from the inside out.
Overcoming challenges, habits, fears, and the ageless spirit.
Okay, moving into another really practical area, habits. Murphy says very directly, you are a creature of habit. Habit is the function of your subconscious mind.
Makes sense? Whether it's swimming, riding a bike, driving, playing an instrument, habits are formed by conscious repetition.
Until they establish deep neural pathways or tracks in the subconscious and become automatic, what we call second nature.
And the truly good news, you can choose a good habit or a bad one, and you absolutely have the power to change them. The law of your subconscious is compulsion. It compels you to follow the habits you've impressed upon it.
He shares a compelling story about a man enslaved by an uncontrollable urge to drink. Willpower alone had failed him repeatedly.
Right. The solution he discovered was harmonizing conscious and subconscious. He began to systematically picture his daughter congratulating him on his freedom from drink.
He made a mental movie.
Exactly. Vividly imagining her saying, "Daddy, it's wonderful to have you home." He repeated this mental movie regularly, systematically, especially before sleep, until the picture was so deeply embedded, it literally reconditioned his mind.
His subconscious mind was the film upon which the picture was impressed.
And gradually, a new positive habit pattern replaced the old one, leading to his complete sobriety and success.
He also gives the insightful example of Mr. Block, the salesman whose deals kept falling through at the last minute.
Ah, yes, the jinx.
He believed a jinx was following him, but it was actually his unconscious fear that clients would back out, born from a past resentment towards a dentist who let him down. He'd built up a subconscious belief in obstruction.
So how did he overcome it?
Daily affirmations of success. Repeating phrases like, my sales are improving every day, my customers are prosperous, happy, every morning and night until a new successful habit pattern took hold.
Shows how quickly an unconscious fear can get established and how deliberately it can be overcome.
And an intensity of your desire is key to breaking free, isn't it?
Absolutely. Murphy recalls the Socrates story. When you want wisdom as much as you wanted air when you are immersed in the water, you will receive it. Likewise, when your desire to overcome a habit, smoking, nail-biting, drinking, is greater than your desire to continue that habit,
You're halfway there.
you are 51% healed already. The law of substitution is powerful here. Your imagination took you to the bottle. Let it take you now to freedom.
Focus on the joy of freedom, not the struggle.
Yes. Instead of the suffering, consciously imagine the joy, the positive experiences. The real cause of debilitating habits like alcoholism, Murphy asserts, is often negative, destructive thinking, inferiority, self-condemnation, hostility. The lasting cure is consciously changing that thought life.
Okay, now let's tackle what Murphy calls man's greatest enemy, fear.
It's behind so much failure, sickness, poor human relations. Millions are afraid of the past, the future, old age, insanity, death.
But here's the kicker, the truly liberating insight. Fear is a thought in your mind, and you are afraid of your own thoughts.
Like the child terrified of a non-existent boogeyman under the bed.
Exactly. Most fears have no reality. They are merely a conglomeration of sinister shadows. And shadows have no substance, no power in themselves.
Ralph Waldo Emerson famously advised, "Do the thing you are afraid to do, and the death of fear is certain."
Murphy applied this himself to stage fright.
Yes, his own unutterable stage fright. He forced himself to stand before an audience, do the thing he feared, and by doing so, banished it. The key is affirming positively, making a definite decision in your conscious mind, which then releases the subconscious power to flow in response to that positive thought, like the singer repeating, "I sing beautifully."
Right. Consciously planting a new, courageous seed.
So if you fear water, or heights, or closed places, Murphy offers a master technique.
What is it?
Sit still, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing the feared activity. If it's swimming, don't just think about it. Truly imagine yourself in the water. Feel the chill, the refreshing sensation, the movement of your arms and legs.
Make it a vivid, multi-sensory, subjective experience.
Not idle daydreaming. What you are experiencing in your imagination will be developed in your subconscious mind. And then you will be compelled to express that image physically with ease and comfort. It's the law of the subconscious, creating your experience based on inner patterns.
Like the executive who feared elevators.
Exactly. Instead of avoiding them or battling with willpower, he systematically blessed the elevator daily, imagined it as a wonderful boon, operating in divine order, filled with joyous employees, mentally rode in it in peace and joy.
And that dissipated his fear.
Completely. Murphy defines abnormal fear as when you let your imagination run riot, like the woman cutting out airplane crash reports, picturing herself drowning, or the businessman imagining failure until it happened.
They brought about the things they feared through persistent negative imagery.
Exactly.
So the powerful answer to abnormal fear is to move mentally to the opposite.
Yes. Staying at the extreme of fear is stagnation. When fear arises, it always comes with a desire for its opposite: safety, health, success.
So place your attention squarely on the thing immediately desired, the positive outcome.
If you fear failure, consciously focus on success. Fear sickness. Dwell on vibrant health. Fear an accident. Dwell on divine guidance and protection.
The things you fear do not really exist, Murphy reminds us, except as thoughts in your mind.
As Job said, "The thing I feared has come upon me," highlighting the creative power of fear itself. You dismiss fears by looking them in the face, understanding their illusory nature, and then choosing to focus on their positive opposite.
Powerful stuff. Now let's explore one of the most remarkable aspects, the wonders of sleep.
Right. You spend about a third of your life sleeping, and Murphy reveals that your subconscious mind never rests or sleeps,
It's continuously active.
tirelessly controlling all vital functions without conscious intervention. This means the healing process occurs far more rapidly and efficiently during sleep.
Because there's no interference from your conscious mind. No doubts, no worries getting in the way.
Exactly. It's truly a silent wonder, constantly maintaining and restoring your body.
And this constant activity during sleep makes it a crucial window for problem solving and receiving guidance.
Absolutely. Dr. John Bigelow, a research authority on sleep, believed the nobler part of the soul participates in the wisdom and foreknowledge of the gods during sleep, suggesting our deeper self is more connected to universal intelligence when the conscious mind is quiet.
And scientific and creative breakthroughs often come in sleep.
Many times. Take Kekulé von Stradonitz, solving the benzene formula problem, a complex structure eluding chemists for years. He turned it over to his subconscious before sleep.
And I woke with,
a vivid image of a snake biting its own tail, giving him the revolutionary idea of the circular benzene ring.
wow.
Nikola Tesla famously built inventions perfectly in his imagination first, down to the tiniest detail, and they always works exactly as imagined. Professor Agassiz solved the fossil fish puzzle in a dream after weeks of fruitless effort. Dr. Frederick Banting discovered insulin after his subconscious instructed him in a dream.
These instances powerfully demonstrate the subconscious's ability to provide incredible insights, solutions, creative leaps.
And beyond profound genius, sleep brings intensely practical counsel for everyday life, too.
Like the young lady guided to decline a job offer.
Yes, which proved wise when the company went bankrupt months later. Her subconscious, with its intuitive faculty, foresaw the failure. The author himself had a vivid dream warning about Pearl Harbor 3 years before it happened, prompting him to cancel an Orient trip.
So your future, being a result of habitual thinking,
Is already in your mind, Murphy states, except when you change it through prayer, meaning conscious impression of new desires.
yeah.
This highlights that by impressing your subconscious with new, positive blueprints, you can absolutely alter your future course and avoid pitfalls.
And for those suffering from insomnia,
Murphy offers a simple, powerful prayer to repeat slowly and lovingly before rest. My whole mind and body are relaxed. I fully and freely forgive everyone. I am at peace. I am poised, serene, and calm. I rest in security and in peace. I sleep in peace. I wake in joy.
forgiveness before sleep is key.
He stresses it allows healing to happen more rapidly without conscious negative thoughts interfering. And the subconscious needs no clock. Suggest your desired wake-up time, and it will awaken you perfectly refreshed.
Amazing. Finally, let's consider Murphy's truly provocative idea about aging.
Yes.
Your subconscious mind never grows old. It is timeless, ageless, and endless.
Which means fatigue, decay, old age cannot apply to spiritual qualities originating from this deeper realm: patience, kindness, veracity, humility, goodwill, joy. If you cultivate and consistently generate these qualities, you'll always remain young in spirit, regardless of chronological years. Your mind is the ultimate master weaver, architect, sculptor of your life and your experience of age.
So the true problem isn't chronological age.
But the debilitating mental attitude of futility and worthlessness, which so often leads to sickness and decline in later years.
Age, in this view, is not the flight of years, but the dawn of wisdom.
It can and should be the beginning of a glorious, fruitful, active, and most productive life pattern, potentially even better than ever before. You must consciously believe this, expect it, and your subconscious will faithfully bring it to pass. Welcome the change of life seasons as an upward movement.
So it means consciously letting go of any fear of old age, which can itself bring about deterioration.
Exactly. Diets and exercises alone won't keep you truly young in spirit. Murphy's core philosophy resonates. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
If your thoughts are consistently on the beautiful, the noble, and the good, you remain young.
If you cease to dream, cease to learn, lose genuine interest in life, then you truly begin to grow old, regardless of your birth certificate.
He also challenges societal discrimination against older workers.
Strongly, pointing out that your gray hair should stand for greater wisdom, skill, and understanding. Senior citizens are a tremendous blessing because of their vast experience, emotional maturity, seasoned judgment, invaluable insights.
It's foolish to refuse to hire based on age when so much talent and wisdom are available.
A call to recognize and value the richness that accumulated years bring.
And he shares those inspiring examples. Cato learning Greek at 80, Michelangelo painting at 80, Socrates learning instruments at 80, Goethe finishing Faust at 80, John Wesley directing Methodism at 88.
They highlight the boundless, ageless power of the mind, proving true greatness and productivity, no arbitrary age limit.
So retirement then shouldn't be seen as an end.
Emphatically not. Not a winding down, but a new venture, a new challenge. One executive called it a promotion from kindergarten to the first grade.
I like that.
A chance to finally focus on living life rather than just making a living. An unprecedented opportunity to pursue long-held dreams, learn new subjects, investigate ideas, travel, become a producer and not a prisoner of society. By continuing to learn, grow, contribute, you are needed. Your experience is invaluable.
And the ultimate secret of youth, according to Murphy,
is cultivating and emanating love, joy, inner peace, and laughter. It's about consciously getting a vivid vision of yourself as happy, radiant, successful, serene, and powerful. Consistently cultivating virtues like patience, kindness, goodwill.
your mind doesn't grow old.
It's capable of profound spiritual and mental athletics at any stage. The true fruits of old age are wisdom, inner peace, and a deeper, more compassionate understanding of life itself. Outro.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind, it's abundantly clear that the power within you is truly enormous.
Immense. It guides, it inspires, it holds the answer to all problems.
What a revelation to know that, as William James put it, the power to move the world is in your subconscious mind. It's a literal gold mine of infinite intelligence and boundless love within you, just waiting.
Waiting to be explored, directed, and utilized. Understanding the profound interaction of your conscious and subconscious minds empowers you to truly transform your entire life. It's a journey from poverty to abundance, wisdom for superstition, peace for pain, joy for sadness. You are unequivocally the captain of your soul and the master of your fate.
You hold the keys
to unlocking a life of vibrant health, profound happiness, abundant prosperity by consciously directing this incredible inner power.
So here's a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over as you go about your day. If your subconscious mind is constantly creating your reality based on your dominant thoughts and beliefs, what hidden blueprints might you be running right now, unconsciously shaping your life?
Good question.
And more importantly, what new blueprints, what new visions for health, wealth, happiness will you choose to consciously impress upon it, starting today?
What gold mine of infinite intelligence will you begin to explore within yourself, starting now?
Thanks for tuning in to the Book Summary Podcast. If you found value in today's episode, hit that like button, subscribe for more summaries, and share it with someone who's ready to grow. Want deeper insights, exclusive book notes, and reading tips? Join our free newsletter. The link's in the description. And don't forget, if you'd like to read the full book, our affiliate link is right below. It helps support the channel and keeps the summaries coming. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing.